Hello everybody, welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to be channeling our inner boomer today.
Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer.
We are going to be talking about the king of FPS that turned 25 recently. That is almost as old as me. If you have been on a computer in the past 30 years, I imagine that you know what Doom and Quake are. Doom was a revolutionary FPS game that set the standards for DOS shooters and build engine games. Quake came out after and set the standard for 3D FPS shooters. There was also Unreal, which was Quake's rival, as also a good game. When I was 7 years old, I used to play these games on a gateway computer and I sucked ass at them. I obviously love Doom and Quake. I've been playing Doom modded for a very long time, and I also play Quake in the various Quake map packs. It's the boomer shooters.
Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer.
Modded Doom and modded Quake is basically Roblox, but for boomers. I greatly enjoy boomy, shooty games. I like to do a shoot every once in a while. In today's gaming world, there are a lot of developers that have brought back the boomer shooter genre. Look, I am weak for the boomer shooters, okay? I buy all of them. They are all good, mostly. I wanted to do a video on Quake because I installed it recently and noticed it had been updated. In today's video gaming world, there really isn't a lot to be excited about. Doom has had a huge resurgence, which is cool. I thought Doom 2016 was a masterpiece. I also thought that Doom Eternal was a masterpiece, minus the platforming. There are a lot of boomer shooters to choose from on Steam because they are easy to make. The boomer shooter genre is starting to become saturated. Quake, updated, I would argue is better than any other FPS that has come out this year. I know that is a bold statement, but I think it is true. I'm not saying that Quake is better than the new Dooms. They are completely different games graphically and mechanically. I will say I do think Quake Remastered definitely rivals Doom and Doom Eternal though. Doom and Doom Eternal were trying to do what Quake did originally. Quake came out in 1996. I like the graphics, but a lot of people can't get past them. If you can get past the game being a 25-year-old game, the gameplay is still amazing. The game is very challenging, and it has a lot of traps that still scare me to this day. The original port on Steam was kind of, I wouldn't say buggy, but it was really hard to get your window resolution set up properly. It was not the most graphically advanced game. The updated version makes the game natively switch to whatever screen resolution you have, and it looks great. I played Quake a few years ago and it looked like a game from the 90s. This update makes it rival games that are released today. The update adds a weapon wheel. It comes with the base game, obviously. It comes with the 2 original mission packs. When the game was updated last year, they added 2 new mission packs and access to multiple different add-ons you can install through the updated launcher. These new mission packs add an entirely new campaign to the game, and the mod add-ons also add new levels to the game. It's pretty nuts, and something I have noticed with all the boomer shooters of today, and I mean all of them, they are always early release, they are always $20 or more, and I can't count on one hand how many have been finished. I'm not complaining, it just is the way things are now, and it is what it is. But now that Quake is updated and is more playable than it has ever been, I would say play the real thing. It's cheaper and has more content than most games released today. When I saw all the new campaigns and stuff, my mind was blown. It's crazy to think a game this old is still getting support and beating other games at it. In this video, I'm not going to be going over the base game or Mission Pack 1 or 2. You've had 2 decades to play those. I want to talk about the new stuff. There is a horde mode that has a lot of different maps and is really fun. I enjoy just fighting in this game, and it's fun, and there's a multiplayer for it. There's also a lot of quality of life stuff added, like bug fixes, the different graphic and video settings, and new modding accessibility, as well as the new mission packs. Mission Pack 3 is good. It's just kind of like a master levels pack. You're not going to see much new stuff in this, but it is fun and really hard. I struggled on hard difficulty playing this pack. Mission Pack 4 is the new campaign, and this is what I played the most when I played Quake. I don't really know the lore behind this mission pack, but you are in a level hub that has ominous demon blood writing everywhere. You have to collect ruins from each of the levels to get to the finale. And the nightmare difficulty skill is hidden behind a lava path. The first realm I went to was the realm of the machinist. It's a pretty gloomy industrial map. This map looks really good though. There's a lot of surprises and traps and really intense combat moments. The second part of this realm is basically the same as the first part. It's kind of more the same. This realm is kind of like the starter realm to play. The next realm I went to is the realm of the blacksmiths. This realm is pretty big and it's pretty. You like progress through a medieval castle that's like falling apart but also turning futuristic at the same time. There are a lot of acid water traps and zombie pits. There is a part where you are in a collapsed building and you're trying to climb through the building. You get the keys and open the door to the castle, and then you move into part 2. Part 2, you are underneath the castle, climbing on the pipes over lava. There's a trap that drops you into lava multiple times, and you climb through the pipes to get to the next area. You go into like an industrial complex. It's pretty wild. You end up in this like futuristic castle that has futuristic alien structures in it mixed with regular castle structures. This entire area is a huge section that has interconnected pathways and shortcuts. You go to the very bottom and then the very top. You get the ruin and there's a very intense fight at the end, and then you go through the portal. The next realm is the realm of the stonemasons. I would say that this is probably the hardest realm in the entire campaign. There's acid water everywhere, and you move through the various tunnels and traps and get hit with onslaughts of the most dangerous enemies in the game. You don't have many weapons yet, so it's very hard. There were points where I was fighting regular shamblers with the starter shotgun. You get the scuba suit and swim through the acidic water and get the keys as you connect all the different shortcuts. You fight more shamblers and the homing missile enemies that are really brutal. The second level, you are underground in the mining tunnels. I don't really know like what you're supposed to be in. This part also hits you with an onslaught of nightmare enemies and multiple shamblers. Then you start traversing through more underwater tunnels. Then you get to the trap section of this level. These traps are a nightmare. I still don't really know how I got through all these traps. Like, I wouldn't be able to explain to you how to do this part of the game because it's so ridiculous. You have to platform over lava with moving platforms, and then the final part is fighting those homing missile guys that are on moving platforms over lava. The next two realms are really good. The next realm we're going to is the cultist realm. I would say this is probably the prettiest realm in the game. You come out to this church chapel structure that's on a mountain. You fight through zombies and all the various enemies, and then a hole ends up opening up in the middle of the church and you fall down into the depths. You make your way through the depths and the sewer parts, and then you go through a portal. The second part, you come out into this like pipe system that's in hell that leads to the same church, but it's upside down. It's pretty wild. I was blown away by this part. I didn't really know what to do or what to think. You traverse the upside down church, and then you have a huge final fight, and then you are done. The last realm is probably my favorite realm. It's the astrologer realm. This realm has a really pretty skybox. It's purple. This realm has a lot of crazy stuff like Zen from Half-Life 1. You platform through the rocks and move on to this castle section. Once you finish fighting all the enemies and make it through the castle section, you get trapped in this like interdimensional alien prison. It's pretty wild. You do end up breaking out of the prison cell, but then you also break out all the other enemies that are in the prison as well. This area looks like you're on like a giant spaceship, and it's probably the most creative map. It's funny, there's like a interdimensional prison riot going on. The next level, you start at this collapsed tower and collapsed buildings that you move through, and then you reach a futuristic looking base. You go inside and go through all the corridors. It looks like a place from the Alien movies. There is even a futuristic cafeteria with fiends in the freezer. You get to this underground temple structure that has lava, and you fight through all the enemies and all the traps. At the very end, you get to this crazy platforming section that throws all the enemies at you and a bunch of crazy traps. And that is the entire mission pack besides the finale. I'm not going to spoil that if you decide to play. For the other mods that are available, there is Terra, which is like a Master Levels map pack that has 8 levels. There is Underdark, which is a remaster of Quake's base game, but also has its own 8 levels. And then there is Honey. Honey is the mod people talk about the most and view as the most ambitious mod for Quake ever. You start out in this town with a well that has been poisoned and you need to fix it. You go into the church and then you go underground to the 2 different levels. The maps are huge and probably are the biggest maps that Quake has ever had. Both these levels are giant and have interconnecting passageways and corridors. There's shortcuts you unlock. You progress the maps not by getting keys, but actually doing certain things that you have to do. It's pretty interesting. One map has you shooting grenades and rockets at locks to unlock them. I enjoyed both these maps. My only criticism of this mod is for the second level. You have to do all this intricate platforming and watch so you don't fall to your death while every enemy in the world is thrown at you. Quake, you usually are running and gunning and able to maneuver away from enemies, and there were parts on this map where I just felt like what are you supposed to do? Besides that though, they are really fun and intense and I really enjoyed them. And that is basically it for Quake Enhanced or Remastered. Obviously I recommend this game, it's amazing. I would say there's never been a better time to try this game out, especially with everything being added to it. I had a genuinely good time playing this, almost the entire experience. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed. I will have more videos coming soon. On Friday, the Narenia Salankia is still being worked on. I have decided to do Stalker Soup and Joint Pack 2.1 in the same video. Obviously, it is still going to be a while before it is done. I will do other videos and stuff in the interim until that is done. I might do like funnies or gameplay or I don't know, we'll see. Do the boomy shooty, as a wise man once said. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.